Hi people, it's me, Anja. My pronouns are she and her, and welcome back to my channel for part 3 of my favorite Asian fantasies. It's been over a year since I've done part 2 because it's been a while since I've read a really good YA Asian fantasy for 2 reasons. First of all, I've said this recently, but I feel like I've been growing out of YA fantasies lately because most of them just sound the same all the time, more repetitively. Second of all, most of the YA fantasies that I have been reading that have been really good just haven't been Asian. So anyway, the point is, the first book on this list is called A Magic Steeped in Poison. This book is a YA Chinese-inspired fantasy following a young main character who enters a tea brewing competition to save her sister. This book was absolutely so excellent, and I really enjoyed it. I think this book came out last March, if I'm not mistaken, like of last year, because I think I talked about it in my March 2022 TBR, and I had such high expectations for it, and this book absolutely lived up to those high expectations. Like, the world building was so magical, so well done, so amazing. The plot was so intriguing and so engaging. The characters were all so well developed and so distinct. The romance was so well developed, so well paced, and so cute. Literally, this book is so good, and it's worth literally all of its hype and so much more. So anyway, with all that said, I would definitely highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called Only a Monster. This story is a YA fantasy contemporary that follows a young main character who discovers that she's from a family of time-traveling monsters, and she must travel through time to save her family. This book is so good, and I absolutely loved it literally so much. The sequel, Never a Hero, comes out in August, if I'm not mistaken, and it's one of my most anticipated 2023 new releases. As for the Asian culture in this book, the author is Australian with Chinese and Malaysian culture in her ancestry, so I'm assuming that that culture shows up in this book as well. I'm not completely sure on that. I remember that it is East Asian, but I don't remember what it is specifically. But anyway, this book is so amazing, and I absolutely loved it. Like, the time traveling aspects usually for me are so complicated since I usually don't understand time travel. But in this book, first of all, it made so much sense. Second of all, with that, it was so intriguing and so engaging. The plot was amazing. Like, the fantasy was so cool. I loved the romance. Like, I even loved the love triangle. Anyway, the characters were so well developed and so distinct. The family relationships made so much sense. Literally, this book was so good and so amazing. So anyway, like I said, I'm so excited to read the sequel in August. And with that said, I would definitely highly recommend this book. The next book on this list is called The Last Mapmaker. This book is a middle grade fantasy inspired by Thailand culture, and it follows a young main character who's attempting to chart her own destiny. This book is absolutely so amazing and so well done. I know the synopsis is rather vague, but I didn't want to give anything away. I love stories about main characters who are attempting to, like, find their own path or their own destiny or whatever, you know what I mean? And this book was literally no exception because it was so amazing and literally so well done. The world building was so magical and so wonderful and so well developed. The plot was so well paced and so engaging and very intriguing. The characters were so well developed and so distinct. I literally love them so much. This book is literally so underrated, and it deserves so much more hype because I found myself literally so, like, enriched. Is that the right word? I'm not sure, and I'm an English major. I should know the right words. But anyway, I was so immersed in the story from the beginning to the end because the book and the story just hook you in immediately. Anyway, the point is, this book is so amazing and it's totally worth all of its hype and so much more. So with that said, I would definitely highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called Nura in the Immortal Palace. If I've mispronounced her name, please let me know because I have no idea what the correct pronunciation is, and I would love to be corrected, and I meant that in a genuine way and not in a sarcastic, mean way. But anyway, this book is a middle grade Pakistani-inspired fantasy following a young main character who must venture into the jinn world to save her friends, and I just really enjoyed it. First of all, the world building was so magical and absolutely so well done and literally so immersive. The plot was so engaging and so intriguing. The conversations surrounding poverty were literally so well done and so important and timely, especially for the younger audience. You know what I mean? Anyway, the characters were all so well developed and so distinct. Literally, this book is so good, and I will gladly read more from the author in the future, assuming that they will continue to write books, because literally they are so talented. Anyway, this book is so underrated and it deserves all of its hype and so much more. So with that said, I would definitely highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called If You Could See the Sun. This book is a YA contemporary fantasy following a young Chinese main character who monetizes her new invisibility power by selling her wealthy classmates' secrets. This book is so good, and it's absolutely so amazing and so well done. I know the fantasy elements in this story aren't as prominent as the other books in this list, but this book is so good. I just really wanted to talk about it because it's so good and so underrated, and I love this author so much, and whatever she writes in the future, I will definitely be reading it. Anyway, I digress. The point is, the plot was so intriguing and so engaging, the romance was so cute and it made so much sense, the characters were so well developed and so distinct. Like, this book is so good, and I loved it so much. This book deserves all of its hype and so much more because it is literally amazing and so excellent, and I loved it so much. I wasn't really expecting to. I remember having lower expectations, but this book absolutely exceeded those expectations, and I just really enjoyed it. So anyway, with all that said, I would definitely highly recommend it. The last book on this list, and certainly not the least, is called Hamra in the Jungle of Memories. I've talked about this book literally so often in the past month since I've read it because it's literally so good. So anyway, for those who don't know, this book is a middle-grade Malaysian-inspired fantasy retelling of the Little Red Riding Hood, and it's so good. Like, this book is so amazing and it's so excellent. First of all, the world building was so magical and literally so immersive. The plot was so intriguing and so engaging. The characters were so well developed and so distinct. This book deserves all of its hype and so much more because it's absolutely so amazing and it's so immersive and it's so like magical and wonderful and lovely. And I just absolutely like fell in love with it from the beginning to the end. This book is absolutely so good. Like, it's so magical and wonderful, which I know I already said 5 times. But like, this book is amazing and it totally deserves all of its hype and literally so much more because it's so underrated and for little what? It's so good. Anyway, the point is, I digress. I would definitely highly recommend this book because I've been talking about it so much and you should too. So in conclusion, happy Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month if you are celebrating. I hope that this video helped diversify your bookshelf. I will leave parts 1 and 2 in the description box below in case you want some more recommendations and you haven't seen those videos already. If you enjoyed this video, please don't hesitate to give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below the notebook emoji if you made it all the way to the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!